What up, everyone? Shakiel Mahjouri here for CBS Sports, and you know who this is. They star in Love and WWE, premiering February 2nd on Hulu. Both WWE superstars, both on the road to WrestleMania. One has much, much, much more hair than the other. Bianca Belair Montez Ford. How's it going, guys?
What's going on, boss? How you doing?
I'm doing well. Thanks so much for doing this. I know you got quite the media frenzy going on. We have the premiere of Love and WWE Bianca and Montez upcoming. Now, I don't know if this constitutes as a spoiler, but I saw in the premiere someone is like rocking a sweater, I think with Bianca's face on it and a giant braid sticking out of the shirt. How do I cop one of these?
That's my mom and my daddy. I actually made that for them back in NXT. So I'm trying to get WWE on the train to make some of those merch items. I have the braid hat, but we're trying to get the sweater with the hanging braid. But I made that for my mom. Like,
That is an instant bestseller, and I think they're missing out if they don't get on that soon. Make a Christmas sweater version. Like I need an ugly. Not to say that it's an ugly shirt, but I need an ugly version of it for the
Oh yeah,
holidays. You know.
yeah,
yeah.
I
I
agree.
like it. Now, obviously, kind of a insight into what your lives were like on the road to WrestleMania last year. What was sort of the most unusual part of having the cameras kind of follow you into your personal lives a bit? Because as kind of a shut-in person myself, it's kind of like my worst nightmare.
Oh really? What are you most afraid about it? Like,
My dad was like very well known in the community where I grew up, and so I just have learned to appreciate my privacy based on how much he hated being
ah,
interacted with on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah, I feel like it was took a lot getting used to because like the road to WrestleMania, as if you're a WWE fan, you know that it's the busiest time of the year. It's essentially like my husband likes to call it the playoffs to get to WrestleMania, which is our Super Bowl.
mhm.
It's the busiest time of the year. It's the most hectic time of the year. It's very stressful because you're trying to figure out how you're going to get to WrestleMania. You want to be on that stage. So you're very vulnerable. You're going through a lot of emotions, and to usually we're able to do that behind closed doors. Usually we're able to vent to each other about it. We're able to go through those emotions with each other, but now you're having a camera that's in your face and they're capturing all of these raw emotions. Where sometimes you're like, it's like when the Snickers commercial is like you're not yourself when you're hungry. Like sometimes you're just not yourself during that time. But it really just shows how we navigated that and just being raw and real and having some hard conversations about personal life and just having that camera there and being vulnerable with cameras all around you and catching it. So that was like what took me a while to get used to and get comfortable with.
And picking the right time to use the bathroom, because I be having to go at random times. At the time, I'm drinking a lot of water. I'm preparing. I'm getting ready for show, trying to bulk, and sometimes you got time to water visits. So, but like you said, besides that, like I would say unusual. Just that and getting used to like it constantly just being there all the time.
Mm.
Like normally when you're at home and you're off from the WWE and traveling, usually that's your time of leisure, relaxation, getting your mind back together or recuperation. But for us, it was kind of like a time of where, you kind of just still on. And I think that was, I guess, not unusual, but just the thing of getting used to.
I know some people sort of like it when their partner is totally removed from their line of work. It's almost like a safe space where they can escape. But I know people who love that their partner is intertwined with their careers and they almost kind of subconsciously know what the other person's going through. They don't always have to explain what's going on. How do you guys sort of balance? I know it's rare for you to get an opportunity off work. How do you sort of balance when it's time to be talking about work, when it's time to try and shut that off and kind of holding each other accountable there?
Well, so we don't really have a rule like that. We know some people that we do work with where they say when we go home, it's a certain time where we cut it off. There's no wrestling talk.
Mm.
But wrestling is such a huge part of our life. And to me, this is my safe space. My husband always says, like, this is my peace here. So if I need to vent, if I need to bounce ideas off of someone, it's going to be my husband. And if that safe space is my husband, that's what we do when we're home. So we don't really cut it off. We talk about it at home. We bounce ideas off of each other. We vent to each other. So it's not really like trying to allot certain times to talk about wrestling. It's just a part of who we are. It's a part of our life. And you really see that on the show too when we're home and it's wrestling talk. It's something that we really care about, and it affects our personal life. So we have to talk about it.
And with this business and everything changing all the time, and even life, like emotions have an appointment time. You just show up. So like you can't put a limit on what she's able to discuss. And that might be the time where it's time for her to talk. And you have to kind of just realize, like, you're a husband, you're a worker, you're a partner, you're a friend, all those things at any given time, all at the same time.
Yeah, it's a balance.
Yeah.
And I do think that the show, it shows, how we balance though, trying to find quality time. Because my husband gets on me all the time. He's like, we're not spending time together. I'm like, we work together, we travel together, we live together, we're together all the time. He's like, no, quality time. And he has to remind me of that. So, it's a lot of turning continental breakfasts into some dates. And he's very romantic. He's very good at it, but it's challenging though. It can get really challenging trying to find that quality time. And it's a challenge.
And it shows us too, making that time to get the quality time. Sometimes you want the quality time, but if it's busy, professions, live event appearances here, media, sometimes you have to kind of just slide and make that time when it's convenient, So I think that's part of not the challenge, but I always found it is like a great challenge, we have this going on. I'm always like, okay, where can I fit in this nice dinner with some roses?
He's great.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Bianca, I need a one-word answer on this because I know we got a time slot here. Who has the meaner eyebrow game, your husband or Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? Only hard questions here, Montez. There we go. I love that.
Gotta go with the husband. It's my husband. He got a nice one though.
My eyebrows thick too. Like Rock's is nice and shaped up.
Well, and I feel like there's like multi-purpose. I feel like you're giving off a lot of different vibes here with the eyebrows, So I appreciate how robust this is. There's one thing that sort of stuck out to me early on in the premiere, Montez, and it's when you said, "I'm not just Bianca Belair's husband." How do you? And I mean, that makes a world of sense. You got your partner here by your side, your ride or die, but the WWE card fluctuates, right? Sometimes this person's the focus, sometimes the other person's the focus. How do you sort of keep those sort of like intrusive thoughts from going into a negative space and still being supportive while still being motivated to do your thing?
That's a great question. I think it's amazing too because for one, I am her husband. So like anytime she's successful or she does anything that's like groundbreaking or landmark, that's my success too, essentially. But also the part of me, the childhood kid that's loved this as a child, like always wants to do something for myself too. I want her I don't want it to just be me bragging. I want her bragging too. But I think what I do is I use those thoughts to just motivate myself. I'm very, very patient. I know like the business has different ways of this happening and that happening, but I feel like with here, patience, hard work, and endurance is always what pushes you through. I remember like one of my favorites of all time, Macho Man, always talked about how the cream rises to the top, brother, So like it's kind of the same thing. And while being on this journey, and the thing she's doing is now motivating me for when it's my time. So I just use those thoughts to like better prepare myself, see the things that she's doing, and know that when it is my time, not only will I do the same things, but push the bar even higher. So it's like a motivation thing.
I love it. Was Bianca ever added to the family text chain? I know she was a little miffed about not being.
And nor will she ever will be. I just think it's sometimes in life, they always say absence make the heart grow fonder. And I think that's the one place where, she has to be kind of like, because my wife likes to know everything. She likes to know everything, have fingers in everything, but sometimes you can't be that
You're saving her from herself is what you're doing here.
Yeah, sometimes it be that way. And sometimes the husband just want to like, take care of it for you.
He talks to my daddy more than me.
Yeah. So
Bianca, I feel like we were kind of toying with an edgier side to your character before you took a bit of a hiatus. I know that's something Montez has been able to sort of explore more with Bobby Lashley and Angelo. What is your interest level in sort of playing into that side, or maybe even a full-on heel turn down the line?
I get this question so much.
I know, I
I'm
know.
going with the flow right now. My goal this year is to have more fun. But what I will say is that I enjoy the things, that come with being, the good guy, that come with it on the outside. I love
Oh,
the community stuff. Is one thing to go to these cities and have amazing matches, amazing PLEs, but when I get to go there and I still get to be a part of the community and go do some amazing things, and I feel like it puts a purpose with my work.
yeah.
Um, I love that. But with that being said, it's all situational to me. Like if somebody pushes me to have to bring something new to the table, then they'll push me and I'll bring something new to the table. But at the core, I'm always gonna be Bianca Belair, no matter what. Like, my integrity is always gonna be there, but you might see a little more come out if you need to come out. So it just depends on who I'm going against. Like Damage Control and Bailey, they tend to bring it out of me. That's the little edgy side that's coming out. But if you don't push me, I won't go there.
Okay. Last thing before I finish up with just some lighthearted stuff, kind of give you a pro wrestling break here. Bianca, I'm curious. You've basically been WrestleMania bound ever since you arrived on the main roster in no short, due to a lot of hard work and commitment. How are you feeling heading into the Royal Rumble this year? It's a long ways away until WrestleMania, but nothing for certain lined up. Like you've always been such a big component of these shows. Where's your headspace at right now?
I'm excited to be a part of the Royal Rumble. Last year I was champion, which was great, but I was jealous because I wanted to actually be a part of the Royal Rumble. I would love to be the first woman to ever win the Royal Rumble twice. I think I have a lot of success at the Royal Rumbles and a lot of experiences, whether it's me winning or having the most eliminations or being the Iron Woman and being in there for over an hour. So I plan on going in and solidifying my pathway to WrestleMania, and then being able to have the choice between choosing Io Sky or Rhea Ripley. So I want to continue to just go and keep making history, keep building on my legacy.
Montez, what was the backstage reaction after you danced with that baby after your Raw in ring debut?
that was the craziest night ever because that was the debut of us on the main roster. And we with the crowd all the time. So we exited through the crowd and I see this baby on the way out. And this baby
Happy
is
baby.
happy, the happiest of happiest babies. And I grabbed the baby. We had this moment. And I remember the backstage reaction was they was glad it happened, happy it happened, but they was like, man, that could have went the other way. Because if that baby would have looked at you sideways or would have started crying, so it could have went either way. I'm just glad it went the way it did, though.
Yeah, gotta follow your intuition sometimes. I feel like I know the answer to this. Who's better at sharing food, Bianca or Montez?
Me. Because
No.
usually she's not hungry and like she'll say she doesn't want anything to eat. And I usually get double or triple because I have a huge appetite. But I do that because I know when she says she's not hungry, depending on everything I get, she's gonna want to taste. So yes, I'm the share.
Sometimes I don't want like a whole fry. I just want like a few. So I'm like, I'm not hungry.
And the chicken nuggets.
Yeah, I'll just eat like a few of his fries, but then yeah, yeah.
Okay. Last one, so I know we're short on time here. Who would look better if they swapped with the other person's hair?
He would look better with my hair.
What?
He would look better. I don't look good with short hair. My head is too big and my shoulders are too wide. I wish I could do short hair. But you could pull some long hair off.
I probably could.
Uh-huh.
It would take 5 years to get, probably 20 years to get to this
He would
length.
do this all the time.
Yeah, I would whiff it. I would whiff it all the time. It would be no wind outside, and I'll still be whiffing.
I have more, but I would like to leave the fans with that image in their heads. Just let them kind of ruminate on it. I want to leave you guys the last word. For on my end, thanks so much for checking out the video, guys. Please subscribe, tap, thumbs up, all that stuff. Check out the full written feature with Bianca and Montez over on CBSSports.com. Love in WWE. Bianca and Montez premieres February 2nd. All 8 episodes on Hulu. Guys, if there's anything you want to tell the world, if you got more eyebrows to move in every which direction, the floor is yours, my friends.
All right, it's amazing, man. Our motto for 2024 is all more. And like you said, catch us also this weekend on our first premium live event of 2024, which is the kickoff of WrestleMania season, the Royal Rumble.